Had we continued to stand in that sun, it would have proven very damaging for us. The baby's cheeks had already started turning red. She's missed stay in the shade all day long, so she's not really familiar with how the sun can really, turn you into a good piece of well barbecued meat. Hello, my good people. Welcome back to Onyi's World. Listen, I hope you got a few minutes today because I want to talk to y'all about how good God is. A lot of times we sit here and we ask for things that we cannot even begin to imagine that God has taken care of for us long before we ask. And I will give you a prime example here today. So, 2 days ago, myself and my children, I typically don't do this. We decided that we were going to go outside and catch some sunlight because, they're bored and I really didn't feel like going anywhere. And I told them, I said, what, your kids go outside, stretch. That's what kids your age do. So they all got dressed. We all got dressed and we decided to step out together, except for one special daughter of mine who stayed in. And, I thought she was going to make sure that the door was left unlocked, but that didn't happen. She proceeded to follow out behind us. And when we got tired of being outside, I said, okay, let's go in. It's kind of hot out here. Y'all, it was legit hot. It was upwards of almost 90 something degrees. We decided that we were going to go inside. So I went and I tried to turn the door. And that's when Miss Thing looked up and says, the door is locked. What do you mean the door is locked? So, I'm shaking the door and, oh my goodness, the first thing that hit me was get angry. Well, who has angry helped? So I decided that that was not going to solve anything. Luckily, I had my cell phone with me. So I called my husband. I told him, hey, listen, we've been locked out of the house. We do not keep a spare key outside of the house. I have trust issues and the Lord is working with me on that. I'm not trying to be in a situation, even though I live in a very safe neighborhood, nice area. I still don't like leaving my key laying around just in case, these little neighborhood Amazon box pickers and people who go around stealing things just come flip a rock and take my key. I'm not doing that. Anyway, we didn't have a way in the house. I went to the neighbors, rang the doorbell. The neighbor was not home. So we came back to our little backyard. And because I had spoken to my husband, I decided we were just going to wait it out. He works about an hour from home, so we bide our time. Well, guess what? It decided that it was a great time to rain. And now that I think about it, it is also God's way of looking out for us, because had we continued to stand in that sun, it would have proven very damaging for us. The baby's cheeks had already started turning red. She's missed stay in the shade all day long, so she's not really familiar with how the sun can really, turn you into a good piece of well barbecued meat. And I did not want her to experience that. So the sky started turning all kinds of different colors. And I was like, oh, it's going to rain. Well, not long after my it started raining. And would you know it, God made a way. So before I tell you all what happened, I got to do a little bit of rewinding. One of my favorite neighbors had to downscale because, they're older people and they just didn't need as much room or space that the house that they lived in afforded them. Now, before she moved, she reached out to me and told me that her grandchildren used to come over and they had a lot of toys and things. And she said, do you want them? I was like, do I want them? Well, she had this particular sandbox that I thought my youngest would benefit from, because it's really hard to keep a baby entertained when you getting on up in age, and I'm getting on up in age. Don't let this snatch skin and tight. God has been good to me. I don't look how I feel or how old I am. I'm not that old, y'all. Anyway, I told her, yes, bring the sandbox over. We'll take that one thing. And the day before their final move, her grandson brought the box over, and then a few minutes later he just walked up in my backyard and brought the umbrella that's supposed to go over the sandbox, and he was like, oh, I forgot to bring this. And I'm like, oh, thank you, don't be strolling up in my yard, who are you? Anyway, I put it in the yard, y'all. I normally do due diligence. I hope y'all understood that, to get things put together. But this particular sandbox and toy, I just kind of laid it to the side. I did not feel like dealing with that. And after a while, a couple of weeks had gone by since they moved out. It just started raining on the thing. The poor thing started leaning one way, leaning this other way. until 2 days ago, I did not even pay any attention to that umbrella. Well, God, in his infinite mercy and concern for me and mine, knew that this situation would occur. So he had my neighbor, out of everything that they could have offer me that sandbox that had the umbrella that could be detached from it. And that umbrella had been laying on the floor. So when it started to drizzle before the rain really came down, I went over and I picked it up. There were ants. There were ants all up in it. So I'm banging the umbrella trying to get the ants off as quickly as possible so that we can use it. At this point, the girls are starting to notice that the raindrops are starting to fall a little faster. You know, it's not like Noah's deluge type fast, but it started to come down. So I'm hitting it, successfully got all the ants off of it, and I pushed it up. And would you know that that thing is, it was just the right size for me and my girls to huddle up together against one of the little, what do they call them, little sticky thing out that stick out past the roof so that you can get a little shade. Well, yeah, we stuck ourselves in one of those little corners and we proceeded to stay under the umbrella, and it poured so hard and it was nice and cool. The only problem that I really had to deal with in that circumstance was them nasty little no-see-ums that bite, them little orange bugs that come from hell. I'm O type blood and they just love me. Came and they feasted. I was slapping myself in every part of exposed skin that I had. But God made sure that we didn't get drenched. I was very worried about the little one getting wet because I don't know if I posted, but she was really sick when she was a baby. So the doctor said, listen, if she gets sick again, there's a chance that she may have a longer period of recovery than the average baby. So mom has been doing her due diligence to make sure this baby does not get sick again. And I've been doing good except for this one instance. So we got her under the umbrella. One of her sisters toted her, and I held the umbrella. And the rain moves in different directions, but I was able to turn it and face it. At most, our shoes and the bottoms of our outfits got wet, but that was it. We kept dry, and I did not want that experience to pass by before what I came to tell you guys, that even at times where we feel like we don't even know what's going on, God is putting things in places to make sure that he takes care of us. And y'all, if I have never appreciated God, I truly, really appreciated him 2 days ago. Anyway, fast forward, something that should have taken the hubby about an hour took less than an hour. I think he got lead foot, but he got here relatively quickly. He was at work, so he literally ran in, let us in, and he had to get back to work. But y'all, I am so grateful to God, not just for providing the umbrella to protect us from the rain, but also providing the rain so that we could effectively cool down from a sun that was probably slated to give all of us sunburns. And if you are running around wondering about some of your property that's laying around in your yard, you better leave that thing right where it is. You don't know what God has planned for that property, so leave it alone. Leave it alone. It may be your shade one day. That's all, y'all. I'm stepping off my soapbox. I just wanted to give a shout out to God and share this beautiful testimony with y'all. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so that you are made aware of every time I upload a video. I'm trying to build a community of fun-loving people here. Come along with me. Communities need people. Until the next time, y'all, be blessed. Bye-bye. I love y'all.